You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. And today, we're talking about one of the most confusing and emotional parts of church insurance right now, which is deductibles. When Benjamin called our office, he was calm at first. He serves on the finance committee at his church up in McKinney, an area that knows hailstorms all too well. He expected to see a premium increase at renewal. That part didn't surprise him. What stopped him cold was the deductible. As the church finance committee reviewed the policy, Benjamin noticed the wind and hail deductible was listed at 5% of the building value, not 5% of the damage, 5% of the entire building. Their church building was insured for just over $2.5 million. That meant if a hailstorm forced a roof replacement, the church would be responsible for more than $120,000 before insurance paid a dime. That wasn't a rounding error, that was a budget-altering number. For a church that started in a house less than 20 years ago, that building represented faith, growth, and stewardship. But that deductible felt like a financial landmine. And Benjamin's question was simple. Is this normal now? And if so, what are we supposed to do? Unfortunately, his experience isn't unusual. Across Texas, wind and hail deductibles have changed dramatically. Insurance companies have taken enormous losses from storms, especially on large church roofs. To slow down claims and regain control, many carriers have pushed deductibles from 1% to 3%, and now 5% is becoming common. From the insurance company's perspective, it reduces claim frequency. From a church's perspective, it creates real risk. A deductible that large can force churches to delay repairs, drain reserves, or postpone ministry projects just to fix a roof. That's not a theoretical problem. It's happening every storm season. This is where Benjamin learned about something most church leaders have never heard of before, which is deductible buydown coverage. A deductible buydown, sometimes called a buyback, is a separate policy that reduces how much your church pays out of pocket when a weather claim happens. In Benjamin's case, it allowed the church to keep the lower premium that came with a higher deductible, while using an additional policy to bring that deductible back down to a level they could actually afford if a storm hit. It wasn't free. There was an added cost. But when Benjamin compared that cost to the financial hit of a six-figure deductible, the decision became much clearer. This approach gave the church flexibility. They weren't forced to choose between sky-high premiums or catastrophic out-of-pocket risk. They could balance both. There are some guardrails with deductible buydown policies. They have to be coordinated correctly. The property coverage has to be structured properly. And everything needs to be handled by an agent who understands church insurance in Texas, not just commercial insurance in general. But when it's done right, it can be a powerful tool. In some cases, churches actually lower their total insurance spend by pairing a higher deductible with a buydown policy. In others, they spend a little more up front, but dramatically reduce financial exposure. Either way, it puts the church back in control instead of feeling trapped by the policy terms. The bigger lesson Benjamin took away wasn't just about deductibles. It was about strategy. Church insurance isn't about chasing the lowest premium anymore. It's about understanding risk, knowing what a bad day could really cost, and making intentional decisions before the storm clouds show up. That's exactly why we built our True Texas Church Insurance program. At Insurance for Texans, we don't start with quotes, we start with questions. We look at your building value, your location, your reserves, your tolerance for risk, and how a claim would actually impact your church's operations. From there, we design coverage that makes sense for real Texas conditions. If your church is staring at a deductible that makes your stomach turn, it's time to talk to someone who can help you think through your options. Begin with a conversation with one of our church insurance experts by going to our website at insurancefortexans.com. And if you would like a bigger picture overview of church insurance in general, get a copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith Stewardship and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, church insurance is about a strategy that will help your church to thrive.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.